internet, oh my God, did you hear the news? Harold Camping, an 89-year-old man in California, has predicted that the world will end May 21st. He was wrong. Let's learn some vocabulary related to this news story. Okay, this man in California, his name is Harold Camping. And Harold Camping is a preacher. A preacher is kind of the leader of a church. Now, in Christianity, depending on which church you belong to, sometimes we say preacher, sometimes we say pastor, sometimes we say minister, sometimes we say father, and sometimes we say priest. And these words can be used for other religions too. It depends on the religion. Now, what did he say? Well, he said the end of the world will come. In Christianity, the end of the world is called the apocalypse. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen. That's good. That's good, right? But the end of the world is called the apocalypse. And I think in Christianity, most Christians imagine the apocalypse is God coming to earth, and I think there are 4 horsemen, and they destroy everything, and there's a lot of fire, and all the good Christians go to heaven. They float to heaven. That's called the rapture. The rapture. Now, that didn't happen either. Now, the other word I want to teach you today is the word predict. Predict. Predict means to tell the future. Pre means before. Dict means say. Other words that have the same meaning are foretell, foresee, and forecast. If you like watching the exciting Weather Channel, then you probably know the word forecast. Now notice that all 3 of those words have the same beginning part. That's called the prefix, and that prefix is for. Do you also know what this is called? This is called my forehead. Oh, that hurt. Anyway, so for means ahead. Ahead. This part of my arm is called forearm. So now we have 5 words all related. We have forehead, forearm, foretell, foresee, and forecast. Those last 3, foretell, foresee, and forecast, all mean to tell the future, to predict the future. Now, if you know all of those words, then let me give you 2 more that you probably don't know. Those are prophesize. To prophesize also means to predict, to tell the future. But the word prophesize has a much more religious feeling. To prophesy something. And one very difficult word, prognosticate. Prognosticate. Prognosticate is a very difficult word, but we do see it in newspapers and magazines. So there you go. Now, what did Mr. Harold Camping say? He said the apocalypse would come and the world would be destroyed. What are other words for destroy? Well, there are many words, but here are a few. Destroy, demolish, decimate, and in today's newspaper, I saw the word obliterate. Obliterate also means destroy, but of course, it's very powerful. Obliterated! And you can use these words also when you talk about sports. For example, if one baseball team, like let's say the Dragons, beats another baseball team, like the Giants, then we could say the Dragons obliterated the Giants. Maybe they got 20 points and they got only 3 points. They obliterated the Giants. A team obliterated B team, for example. Okay. There we go. That's your lesson for today. Now, what I recommend is after you watch this video, go over to a English-speaking news site, a news internet page that is all in English, and see if you can find some of the words that you learned in today's lesson in those articles. I bet you will be able to find some of those words, and you will understand a little bit better. Thing I want to teach you today is the word off. The word off. The word off also means to make a mistake. For example, he was a little off. He was a little off. Mr. Harold Camping, the preacher, predicted the world would end on May 21st, but today he announced that he was 5 months off. That means he made a mistake, and the amount of the mistake was 5 months. Now, if you just make a little mistake, you can say, that was a little off. That was a little off. Made a little bit of a mistake. I was a little off. And if you know how much you were off, you can put the amount there. I was 2 inches off. You know, I threw the dart, but I was 2 inches off. I missed by 2 inches. I thought he was 30 years old, but he was only 28 years old. I was 2 years off. That's how we use it. Okay, thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you learned something. I predict I will be back very soon with another video. Until then, you know what to do, right? Study hard!
ActionTeacher. 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 Action.